Your brain is not your friend. Let that sink in. The same organ that writes poetry, solves equations, and remembers every embarrassing thing you did in high school is also the reason you quit on your dreams. Why? Because it was never designed to make you successful. It was designed to keep you safe. And here's the kicker. Safe doesn't mean happy. Safe doesn't mean fulfilled. Safe means comfortable, predictable, stuck. Think about it every time you hesitate before speaking up. Every time you hover over upload, but don't click. Every time you promise yourself tomorrow. That's not just procrastination. That's your brain actively stopping you. The same brain that could help you build an empire is also your prison guard. But here's the twist: like every guard, it can be outsmarted. Today, I'll show you how to hack your brain, rewire its ancient code, and unlock a version of yourself that feels unstoppable. So buckle in. This isn't going to be another just think positive pep talk. This is war, and the battlefield is inside your skull. Asterisk problem deep dive with extended stories. Let's get brutally honest. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? Be real with yourself. Maybe it's that YouTube channel you've been planning for months. Maybe it's your dream fitness transformation. Maybe it's finally fixing that relationship. But tomorrow never shows up, does it? Tomorrow is a scam. And every time you push something to tomorrow, your brain celebrates because it thinks it just saved you from danger. Here's the science. When you hesitate, your brain dumps cortisol into your bloodstream. Cortisol is the stress hormone that once helped our ancestors run from lions. Except now, the lion is a blank Word doc, a scary phone call, a gym session you don't feel like doing. Your brain treats them all the same. Picture this. It's 10 p.m. You've got your laptop open, notes ready, and you swear you'll start that side hustle tonight. But instead, your thumb finds Instagram. You scroll. I need to relax, you tell yourself. But that's not relaxation. That's escape. That's your amygdala, your brain's alarm system tricking you. Or think about that awkward conversation you avoided. You knew deep down it would fix the tension with your coworker or partner. But the moment you imagined starting it, your chest got tight, your palms got sweaty. So you avoided it, felt relief. But in reality, you just trained your brain to keep you weak. And here's the brutal part. The more you let your brain win, the more it rewires you to lose. You start building an identity around avoidance. You tell yourself, "I'm just not disciplined," or "I'm not that kind of person." Slowly, opportunities fade from your vision. Life shrinks. And you don't even realize it's happening. But let's zoom out. Imagine 10 years of this cycle. Imagine where you'd be if you keep letting your brain run the show. It's not a pretty picture, and that's exactly why you need to understand what's really happening inside your head. Asterisk, the science of self-sabotage, deep psychology section. Here's where things get fascinating. Deep in your brain sits a little almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It's been running the fear game for millions of years. Back in caveman times, it saved your ancestors from predators, cliffs, and poisonous berries. But here's the problem. The amygdala hasn't gotten a software update in thousands of years. It still thinks you live in the jungle. So it freaks out at modern problems, Sending an email to your boss? Amygdala says, predator alert. Speaking on stage? Amygdala says, exile from tribe equals death. Trying to start your own business? Amygdala says, uncertain equals unsafe. Meanwhile, in the front of your head sits the prefrontal cortex, the logic center, the planner, the decision maker. This part of the brain is slower but smarter. It knows you should go to the gym, send that pitch, finish that project. But here's the catch. The amygdala always acts first. Fear arrives before logic, which is why, in the heat of the moment, comfort almost always wins. But here's some hope. Neuroscience has proven the brain is plastic. It can change. Stanford. Researchers found that people who practiced regular discomfort rituals, like taking cold showers, literally trained their prefrontal cortex to override fear. Their brains started treating discomfort not as danger, but as normal. The Navy SEALs take this to the extreme. They use what's called the 3-second rule. The moment they need to act, they give themselves a 3-second countdown. No thinking, no negotiating. Just move. Because hesitation breeds fear, and fear breeds paralysis. And it doesn't stop there. Let's talk dopamine, the brain's motivation chemical. Social media has hijacked it. Every scroll, like, and notification is a micro hit of dopamine. Your brain now expects rewards instantly. So when you try to work on something long-term, like building a skill or a body or a business, your brain rebels. It screams, "Where's my quick hit?" That's why discipline feels painful. You're literally fighting against a brain wired for instant gratification. Then there's the default mode network, or DMN. When you're not focused on a task, your brain defaults to this wandering state, rehashing regrets, worrying about the future, comparing yourself to others. Neuroscientists call it mental time travel. It burns energy but produces nothing. That's why, after a day of thinking, you feel drained but accomplish nothing. So here's the truth bomb. Procrastination isn't laziness. Fear isn't weakness. Distraction isn't lack of willpower. These are features of your brain's ancient wiring. You're not broken, you're human. But once you see the wiring, you can start to hack it. Asterisk, the high stakes, climax expansion. Now, let's crank up the intensity. If you keep letting your brain control you, here's what happens. Picture yourself 10 years from now. Scenario A. You listened to the whispers of comfort. You skipped the risks. You avoided discomfort. You stayed safe. But safe looks like this. The business idea is still just a note in your phone. The fit, confident version of you is still buried under excuses. That relationship you could have repaired, gone. You wake up too with a heavy pit in your stomach, realizing life slipped through your fingers, not because you weren't capable, but because you obeyed fear. Scenario B. You hacked your brain. You acted when it screamed no. You leaned into discomfort daily. You became the kind of person who does hard things. 10 years from now, you've built something real. Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's a strong body. Maybe it's deeper connections. But more importantly, you've built yourself. The kind of person who doesn't bow to fear. That's the real cost of this battle. It's not about one workout, one email, one conversation. It's about identity. You're either wiring yourself to be a prisoner or a fighter. And every small decision tips the scale. Asterisk, the battle plan, extended solutions. So how do you flip the script? How do you take back control? Let's break it down into 5 powerful steps, expanded into a full battle plan. Step 1. Build to break you. Your brain craves comfort like an addict craves a fix. So the first hack is simple. Dose yourself with discomfort on purpose. Take cold showers. Do push-ups when you wake up. Walk in the rain. Write 1 sentence of that scary project. The point isn't the activity. The point is teaching your prefrontal cortex to act first. Every rep against comfort is a rep for your courage muscle. Story. Professional athletes use this. Kobe Bryant was famous for his brutal morning workouts. Not because he loved pain, but because he knew mastering discomfort off the court made him unstoppable on it. Step 2. Make pain your fuel. Most people see pain as the enemy. Wrong. Pain is proof you're stretching. Pain is the receipt for growth. Next time your brain screams, "I don't feel like it," flip the script. Say, "Perfect. That means this." Matters. The gym hurts? That means you're building strength. The conversation feels awkward? That means you're building courage. Train yourself to associate pain with progress. Example, think about Navy SEAL Hell Week. They intentionally drown recruits in pain. Why? Because those who survive learn that pain isn't the end, it's the beginning of resilience. Step 3. The 3-second kill switch decision plus hesitation equals death of dreams. So you've got 3 seconds. The moment you decide, count down. 3, 2, 1, go. No negotiating. No waiting for motivation. Action kills fear. Example, ever notice how jumping into a cold pool is easier if you don't think about it? That's the 3-second rule in action. Step 4. Daily war mode. This is where consistency wins. Create a daily ritual of discomfort. Write it down. Every morning, I walk for 10 minutes, no matter the weather. Or, every night, I write 200 words. Keep it small. Keep it daily. Over time, you rewire your identity. You stop being someone who wants to write and become a writer. Example, James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, calls this the power of identity-based habits. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Step 5. Become the machine. Willpower fades, motivation fades, but identity is permanent. Decide who you are and act like it regardless of how you feel. I am a leader. I am an athlete. I am a creator. Then back it up with daily action. The machine doesn't ask, "Do I feel like it?" The machine just runs. Story. David Goggins, ultra-endurance athlete, calls this becoming the hardest worker in the room. He doesn't rely on motivation. He relies on identity.